Oh, hey guys. Today we're going to do a CPU and a GPU fan replacement for the Dell series G7 series, and the exact model is the 7790. If you can take a look at it there, this is a pretty easy installation and very straightforward. But at least what I wanted to show you guys is just step by step with the really close up shots with the picture tutorials for you guys to follow step by step, so that no mistakes are going to be done. Because and with this one here, you don't even need to remove the battery, so don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You're just replacing two hardware components that just plug into the board, so don't worry about that. So first thing you want to do is just to flip your laptop upside down, then put the screen side on your working area, and as you can see here, so just to make note, so that you guys know in case if you guys get your screws mixed up. So just take note for this here. These two here on the top middle on the inside here, those are the only two that are actually going to be any different from the rest. So these are two out there exactly the same length and same diameter. So when you remove these two, just keep them together, and you know that, just remember that they will always go to the top middle here, because all of the other screws situated on the outer borders of the whole bottom case, they're all exactly the same screws. So just keep that in mind, right? Even the one in the middle here, it's all the same length and the same diameter as all of the other ones. So the only two that are actually different and two times longer are the two silver screws, because all of the other ones are all actually short black screws that are two times shorter. And if you guys need it for reference here, this is exactly how it's laid out, just exactly how you see it here. So just remember, two in the middle, all the outside ones, they're all black, same length ones, same diameter and everything. So just keep that in mind. So if you do lose your or forget for whatever reason, just refer back to this, look at this picture here. And that's the awesome thing with being able to go back into a picture tutorial on a do-it-yourself job like this, is because you can easily go back to a step that you guys have actually are unsure of in something, or you missed out. You can easily just go back to this. So this is a screw orientation, and that's it. So once you've actually removed all the screw, this is what you want to do next. So open up the laptop, but keep the screen side facing down on your work area here. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the area that's easiest to open in this situation here. It would be the top left hand corner. I literally just stuck my thumbnail in there and just literally it just opened up that easily. So and I'll be straight out with you guys. I worked on thousands and thousands of models and different laptops since the year 2000. I've been doing this for 24 years, and this laptop is so well designed, it should not even give you a problem on doing anything to repair it when you're trying to open up to replace your memory or your M.2 SSD or your 2.5 inch SSD or whatever, add more RAM and stuff, because the bottom panel opens up very well. You don't even need a pry tool for it, for that. So that's how easy it opens up. But I just want you guys to know how to do these step by step so that you don't mess anything up. So like I said, just put your thumbnail underneath, on this top end corner here, and this is just a close-up shot of the top left-hand corner. And like as you can see, I put my thumbnail underneath it, and it opens up that EC. So what you want to do afterwards with this is that what you want to do is just run your thumbnail all the way to the middle and to the far right-hand corner of the whole lid. So start your way from here on the top left, or you can start from the top right. I tried the right side. It wasn't as easy, so I just went to the left, and boom, it just opens up. So just do whatever is easier for you, right? If you're able to get the top right hand corner open up very easily, then just start from that corner and then just run your thumbnail all the way to the left hand side. Just as you see here, and this is, look how easy it opens up. So the tabs itself here, this is where your lid latches down onto the main frame of the system. So you can see the latch locking system here. So it's very simple and it's very tough and very durable, which is awesome. And this is the right hand side here, as you can see. So when you're doing this, just just be mindful that when you are going to the end, don't stop there. Just keep running your thumbnail all the way down to the back of the hinge system. So just work your way all the way down. Do the same thing on the left side, and then you'll be good. Once you've done that, just close the whole laptop up, and as you can see here, you can literally just put your finger underneath and just open up the whole lid. And just to let you know, I've actually worked on some other Dells where you have to be very careful when you're opening up the lid, because sometimes Dell will actually put some wires connected to the freaking bloody, bottom panel, which is kind of, I don't know why the hell they would do that, because I end up doing that once. I didn't even check because I always thought that most bottom panels, 99.9%, are usually don't have wires connected. Some Dells do have wires connected, and some other brands do too. But with this one here, it doesn't have any wires underneath the the bottom panel, so you can just simply remove that without worrying about tearing any wires apart or pulling something apart from the motherboard. So you're good to go. Just remove that lid and you're good. And so this is the whole visual area of the bottom of your laptop here. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on this fan on the left side, then we'll go to the one on the right. As you can see here, there's one screw on the top left, and the bottom left and the right side. And I'll show you a closer upshot here. So this is what it looks like. So your next, thing you got to do is just remove the three screws here, and which is pretty simple. And if you look carefully, this is your CPU fan power cable connector. So, and then I wanted to make note with this here too, because I was trying to be gentle by using my plastic pick tool to literally pick at the corner here to push it to the left on both sides. And I was like, craps, it's really, really hard. So these connectors are in really tight. So what you want to do is you want to grab that cable here. I'll give you another shot here. This is a closer up shot of the cable. So what you want to, as you can see here, I kind of managed to get it out by millimeter with my pick tool, but it just wouldn't come out because it's not latch lock or anything. It's a really good clamping system. But the whole thing, all you have to do is just make sure you grab the CPU fan in your hand, because you don't want that slipping anywhere. So grab the left CPU fan in your hand, and use your right hand to grab any area of this here, like preferably maybe an inch away from these cables, just about an inch up here or an inch and a half, and then just pull it really hard towards your left, and then it'll just pop out. So don't worry about it. You won't break the solder joints here. It just comes right out. And you actually have to be pretty firm and just pull it. Don't be scared. Just pull, because this cable is very durable, and that's probably why they put a nice coating and a nice thick layer on that, so that you can easily just pull that out. And then once you pull that out, then you're good on the left side. And then here, and as you can see here, this is how you take it out, right? So you can see here the cable just pops up very easily. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put in the new one. So actually, sorry, that was the new one that I was actually putting in. So what I wanted to make note is that when you're putting in the new one here, this is the new fan. Hold the new fan in your left hand while using your right hand to guide yourself, to guide this connector here. Just make sure that it goes in nice and flush and parallel to it, and just clip it in there, and you're good for that one. It's just that simple. There's no ifs and buts, and there's no secret way of doing it. Just basically position this parallel. Well, this is not because I was just doing a picture for you guys, but just make sure that you put this nice and parallel and directly inside this connector cable here, and then just push it inwards. Make sure it's nice and in, and you'll hear a little clicking sound once it's actually locked itself in there. So that's a good thing. And as you can see here, and all you have to do is, once it's nice and secured, push the cable down here, and then put your three screws back in on the left side. And then that's done for that side. Then here we're going to be focusing on the right fan, and then remove your screws, as you can see here also, which is three of them, like the one on the left side. Remove the three screws. And this is where your fan connector power cable is for this here. So what you want to do is the same thing as this. So once you actually have that, the three screws removed, what you want to do is, what the heck happened here? Yeah, sorry guys. So what you want to do is just lift this whole fan out with your left hand again, and then just use your right hand and grab on this cable, and just pull away up north away, and then just pull it hard, and then this connector will come out. And then just putting your new CPU fan is the same thing too. As you can see here, it's easier to plug in this connector here with your new fan on this one as opposed to the one on the left, because it's kind of where it's situated. But this here, you just simply just put it there, and then you're good to go. And this is just a closer up shot, and then you just click it in there. Just make sure it's nice and flush and tight into that corner, and you're good. And then what I did here was I ended up opening up the laptop, because what you want to do is to make sure that the system is running, because the original error I forgot to make note. Sorry guys, I've been doing a lot of videos today. So what I wanted to make note was that when the customer brought it to me, he was getting a fan error intermittently. It didn't always happen at every posting, but it would actually happen, eventually at every two or three. Every about 2 out of 3 times he would power up the system. So I wanted to make sure that he wasn't getting that. So for you to test to make sure that the system will actually post without getting any fan errors, so the best thing to do is open up your laptop, push the power button on, and make sure that the system will actually post without any errors. as you can see here, it pulls it right onto his desktop, and do that about 3 to 5 times if you can, to make sure that it's not an intermittent issue like what he was having, because I don't know if you were getting it every time when you're powering on, or you were just getting it one of every 2 or 3 posts. So just make sure that you're not getting the same error that what he was getting, or the same errors that you were getting. So it should always pull straight to the sign on screen without any errors or any fan errors. So and that's good. So once you've done that, just close it back up, and then just flip it back to the way it was. And what I wanted to make note too here, because since we're actually looking at this, since it's a really well designed laptop here, I'm going to flip this, rotate this the other way. It's easy for me to show you guys. So if you look at it here, we just did the 2 fans here, right? So if you wanted to add more RAM or change your RAM, if yours came with 16 gigs of RAM, which is probably 2 8s, which is 8 there and 8 there, or you might have upgraded to 32 gigs of RAM and want to go 64. So these are your 2 DIMM slots for your DDR4 memory modules. So once all you have to do is if you want to replace it, usually when you're replacing RAM, it's not really wise to, keep one of the OEM ones in there and then go aftermarket and get like a 32 or something, because usually when you get RAM installed, they normally put them in pairs. So if you have 2 8s here, I would suggest just removing both of them and getting yourself 2 32s if you want to go 64 gigs. Because I'm pretty sure this laptop here would probably go 32s or probably the 64 per DIMM slot. But I don't know 100%. So the best thing for you to do is just to look at the Dell's manuals. For online, they'll actually show you in their brochure of how much how many gigs per DIMM slot that this model, the G7 7790 series will actually accept. It's either going to be 32 to 64 gigs of RAM per DIMM slot. So this is where you would actually just upgrade your RAM, and it's very simple because there's only just an arm on the outside. Once you do is just pull the arm outwards on both ends, it will just pop right up on like a 40-degree angle, and you just pull that out, put in the new one, and that's it. Same thing as with this slot here. So and with this here, this is a 2.5 inch. This is a 2.5 inch mechanical drive, as you can see that he has. If you don't want the mechanical drive, because they do fail pretty easily, if you just bump it, your laptop or whatever, you're better off just to put in your 2.5 inch SSD hard drive here. And as you can see, very well designed. Easy to remove, and this is the primary hard drive area here, because he has the M.2, which is usually for most laptops that are being used. Most companies will use the 2280 series M.2 SSD. So just remember that, right? So if you wanted to, upgrade the size capacity of your primary SSD with the M.2, which is here, all you got to do is just simply, probably just from here, I didn't take a picture that's close enough, but it looks like there's just one screw there. Once you remove that screw, this lid will probably come up, and then you can just pull your hard drive out towards to your left. Because I remember that the slot or the insert for the M.2 was right there. So usually if it's here, you would just pull it to the left side, just pull that out. It usually, once you remove this shell, the hard drive usually pops up about 35 to 40 degrees also. So just remember that, right? And your battery, pretty simple also. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 screws just holding the battery. So if you need to replace your battery, this is your battery connector there. As you can see, Dell was courteous enough, like other laptop companies don't do. They actually give you a little lever to pull up and disconnect your battery connector, which is awesome. If you can see there's just a little black pulling tab, which is awesome. And that's about it, guys. This is a closer shot like I wanted to show you here of the RAM. That's the RAM there, and then this is the battery, and this is the 2 hard drives here. So I'll rotate this way here, so then it's just easier to follow. The M.2 bay is here, as you can see here, single screw, and your 2.5 inch mechanical or solid state hard drive that you can put in. It's got the 1 screw, 2 screws there, and 1 there. So once you can remove that plate, and then your hard drive will be underneath it. And you can see here, this is a SATA connector on the motherboard. So all you do is you just slide the hard drive, your 2.5 inch hard drive, to your left, probably right to here, flush to here, because this is about the same thickness as this. Because usually when you slide it to the left, the hard drive would just pop right out. So that's pretty simple, and to close it up, pretty simple. You know how easy the cover was to come off. So I really don't need to show you guys how to do that. So you guys are pretty good at that. So the only one thing I wanted to make note is that when you're pushing down on the lid, this is the only area that you need to push down, because all of the other areas there, it literally just seated itself properly. And here you kind of just, what you want to do is, this is how it was supposed to look like, my bloody picture. It was this way here. So push down, starting from the left side or the right side, just push down with some pressure until you hear clicking sounds all the way to the bottom right hand corner, and you're good to go. Put your screws back in, and remember, right, guys, if you're putting your screws, the only two screws are the two long silver ones, or the ones up here, 1, 2, and all of the outer ones are all of the same size black screws, and even including the middle one, which is this black screw. Then once you've done that, your laptop's all good to go. Please like and subscribe, guys. If you have any questions or any comments or anything, just put them on the comment section below, and and I'll gladly reply to the messages. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers.